But I realized, I was like, I don't know what happens within a car when it backfires. The bang bangs is the car backfiring.
Which it shouldn't happen that often.
It should not happen that often. For what this car is going to do later, it should not be having that bang bang consistency.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Maria.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My.
Of the music of
So much happens.
So much happened.
Movie. I was not prepared.
So knowing now that this is the musical that I love the most, does it explain more about me?
Yes?
It tracks.
I want you to imagine seeing this movie for the first time as an adult in 2021.
I tried to do that during this rewatch, and it is bananas town.
To see
it is insanity.
To see it with fresh eyes.
So, hello everyone.
Oh, welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast, where we recap and review movie musicals. My name is Anna.
My name is Grace.
This episode, we have the 1968 children's film,
Children's epic.
Classic, questionably titled Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Now, this was chosen because when this episode is released, it will be 2 days before my birthday, and I chose this one because it is the musical that got me into musicals. I had the double VHS tape of this and watched it.
It was split because it's so long?
Oh yeah, it's so long. This movie is 2.5 hours long. It was the longest children's movie of all time until the Harry Potter movies came out.
Really?
Yes.
It's long. It's
a long
shockingly
boy.
long. I talked to Grace while I was watching it, just texting, and we both took breaks about halfway through, and you knew what was coming.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe we were only, like, what else was gonna happen? And then it goes off the rails.
Yeah,
Halfway
it's
through.
great. We should start going through this because who knows how long this episode will be.
I will say, very similar energy of just bananas, as in Babes in Toyland, where it kept getting weirder.
And you're just like, is there more of this movie? How can there still be
more?
45 minutes left?
How can it get weirder? It can and it will.
Yes, it's that same energy, but with much better singing and Dick Van Dyke.
Alright, we
start! Vroom,
in
vroom!
the dark. Zoom, zoom! Zoom, zoom, car sounds in the dark. And, like, the longest lead up.
Like, the first 6 minutes of this movie is basically
yeah.
just watching a car win a bunch of old school car races. We are in, like, I'm gonna say early 1900s. Like,
it's
well, because
1907.
the final Grand Prix was 1909. And then the car is destroyed and, like, all sorts of gross. So I'm assuming we have to be in at least 1911, 1912.
Oh, you mean the time of this movie?
The time of
Once we get past the old-timey car races, yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's before World War I. So, like, maybe 1910?
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, why not?
There's
one car in particular keeps winning all of the races, and it's car number 3.
And it's a man with a mustache.
As they all were in that time.
Yes.
But in this last race, a girl runs onto the track, and to avoid hitting her, the car swerves off the road and immediately explodes.
Oh my god. Just off the road, down a ditch, into flames.
Boom!
We fast forward to uncertain England times after this many races and a big boom crash car wreck.
We're in, like, a garage or something for, like, spare parts. It's not
It's
really
a junkyard.
Junkyard.
It's a
But then a
junkyard.
junk man comes to buy it, so it was unclear as to whether this was a junkyard. I don't know. A junk man comes to buy this old junked up car, which was the car that exploded. 2 kids are sitting in the car, and they're playing racing, just like, broom, broom, we're going too fast, etc.
And the kids are upset that this junk man wants to take their car.
How dare you buy this? We play in this car.
The man's like, no, I'm gonna crush the car and melt it down to iron.
They get the guy who has the car to promise to sell them the car, basically, but only if they give them like 30 pounds, which in now money is like $150.
The kids get the owner of this junkyard to be like, all right, if your dad buys this car for 30 shillings, yeah, you guys can have it. The children run out of the junkyard, and like the little country urchins that they are, run directly into the road, and a lady in a fancy white dress driving a very nice car almost runs them over, and to avoid vehicular manslaughter, she veers off the road and lands in like a
swamp pond?
Shallow pond. Swamp pond.
It's like ankle deep. It's not that bad.
But she is a lady and she can't get her skirts wet.
She is able to back the car out, which we should note, because for some reason she can't
Never
do that 2
happens
times
again.
later.
That is a ongoing gripe, is that, like, this is not a spoiler, but it is a returning gag that, like, this poor woman just keeps accidentally running her car off the road in the same exact spot. And this first time, she's fully capable of reversing it out.
Let's get out of this, like, ankle-deep water that it definitely didn't touch the engine.
As soon as she falls in love, she becomes incapable of
Helpless.
reversing and must be saved every single time. Anyway, she reverses out of the pond, and she takes these 2 street rats back to their house.
So she basically asks, like, why aren't you in school? And they avoid the question. So she's like, I'm gonna take you home. So she drives them home. They introduce themselves.
I'm calling them street rats. They're like little posh British children named Jeremy and Jemima.
And she introduces herself. She says her name is Truly.
The kids live in a quote-unquote castle on the top of a hill.
AKA a windmill.
She pulls the fancy car into the driveway of this, like, ramshackle, crazy house. And just then, a mad scientist inventor man
Yes,
comes
100%.
out, or they
He
see
comes out of
him
the
and-
barn in, like, a getup. Like, there's
Take it away.
wings and fireworks strapped to his back. He has a full suit on. He gets up on a ramp and lights his ass on fire. And then the ramp, like,
He doesn't get enough
blown
velocity.
forward, but he doesn't get enough velocity, and the fireworks, like, spurt out, and so he turns around to see what's wrong, and they immediately light back up again, because comedy. And it shoots him back down the ramp.
And it's Dick Van Dyke.
He runs around like a fire hazard, and the kids think this is hilarious.
He's actively on fire, and this good Samaritan woman, who's stranger, who's never met him before, saves him by dumping a bucket of water on him, and he yells at her for it. He's like, you ruined my rocket. I had everything under control. Did you?
Did you? The kids come over and say that she's a very nice lady, and she's like, kids, you have to tell him something. And so they tell him that they skipped school and he doesn't care. So they run off, and he leaves also, just leaves her spluttering because he's being very rude to her. And this is when we see a man enter. Anna, this person.
This crazy Colonel Sanders looking motherfucker comes out of the house like an old guy, and he's like, I'm going to India! And he walks into the shed, and Truly's just like, what the fuck is happening?
She's like, well, we can't unpack all of that.
Yeah. And she follows the inventor guy into his windmill, which is his invention room, and she criticizes him for, like, his loose leash on his children. Fair.
Yeah. He's like, well, didn't you ever skip school? And she's like, what? No.
Quick side note. This takes place in England. Truly has an English accent.
Yeah-huh.
Grandpa has an English accent.
Yeah-huh.
Dick Van Dyke does not have an
English accent. Do you
English
want one
accent.
of my fun facts now?
Yeah, I do.
This movie came directly after Mary Poppins, where he got so much criticism over his accent, so he agreed to do this movie only if he did not have to do an English accent. And they were just like, okay.
Great. Anyway, he's got like this crazy fucking toy, or not toy, but like invention workshop, and like nothing ever seems to go right for his inventions, but like, oh gosh.
One of them is a sweet making machine, but the sweets keep coming out with holes in them, and he can't figure out why. And Truly looks at them and immediately is like, the boiling point of your sugar is too high. And he gets very ruffled. And then basically kicks her out of the workshop because she had an idea.
And he follows her outside to help her start her motor car, and she drives off.
Angrily.
And then he goes back inside and just starts ranting to the kids and to Grant.
Very young children.
Yeah, being like, this lady can't come into my house and tell me how to raise my children. And the kids are like, we thought she was pretty.
And he was like, well, yes, she very much was.
He's like, that's not the point. And then we have our first song, which is...
U2.
We still don't know Dick Van Dyke's name, for the record.
No.
I'm just going to call him like Crazy Adventure Man / Dick Van Dyke. Clearly the father of these wayward children. He sings the song U2 to his children, and it's about how they're all he needs. There clearly is no Mrs. Dick Van Dyke in the picture.
No. And everything he does is for his children. Every invention that he makes is for them. And during this song, he starts up an insane invention, which cooks them eggs and sausage.
It's like a Rube Goldberg
machine. Those sausages are not stored in a refrigerated location. They are all going to get poisoning.
If that's the squeaky wheel for this movie, we have bigger things to talk about.
I found this song really charming.
It's sweet.
And it just really establishes that, like, he loves his children, and his children love him. And he may not be the 100% best dad, but he is doing everything he can, and they all are a big family.
And the Colonel Sanders man, we learn, is Grandpa, and Grandpa shows up just in time for
dinner.
And the children tell their father about the 30 shillings promise for the car, and seems nervous, but he's like, all right, we'll make it work. We'll make it happen.
Figure something out.
The kids go up to bed.
And he tries to think, oh, maybe he'll take a payment plan or something. He's just got to try and figure something out. Thunder. Apparently, there's this whole argument where Grandpa's roof leaks, and his son, who we learn his name is Caractacus. Wild.
I looked that up, actually. I was like, did they invent that name for this? It was like the name of a Roman general.
Yeah, his name is Caractacus Potts, which was chosen specifically also to sound like crackpot.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, you always promise to fix my ceiling, and then we cut to Grandpa sitting in bed with an umbrella with, like, water pouring into the ceiling.
Pouring.
It's very silly, just, like, yelling, me own son!
And Grandpa also tells his son, Caractacus, he's like, you need to wake up from these, like, crazy inventor dreams and get a real job.
He's like, I worked polishing colonel's boots whenever I was young in the army. Like, you should get a real job.
At the same time, we see Caractacus down in his workshop, just kind of, like, looking around, and we see they have a dog. Edison, thank you, picks up the candy from earlier and breathes into it, and it makes a little whistling sound.
It sounds like a little flute.
For visualization, the candy is about like the length of like an average candy bar. It should be long enough that you could put a couple fingers on it and like play it like a little recorder. And he gets a light bulb idea.
Next day, cut to the Scrumptious Sweets Company.
It's a candy factory. Caractacus has brought the children there and he's gonna go pitch his idea, but he kind of gets, I don't know, pushed around by the
snobby lobby
receptionist man. Yeah, snobby lobby man. Being like, you should have made an appointment, you can come back in 3 weeks. Just then, Truly comes in another fantastic dress. She recognizes the children, and Caractacus puts it together that Truly is the daughter of the head of this candy company.
So her name is Truly Scrumptious. And
Caractacus is
what was the name of Marilyn Monroe's character that I hated so much? Because it feels in the similar lane.
Oh, I'll look at...
It's like,
what was
candy something?
Sugar pie... What?
Sugar cane!
Sugar cane.
Yeah. Feels in the
it was sugar cane.
Feels in the same vein as Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
She also has an insane hat on. Like, most of her hats are cool. This one is bananas.
I loved all of her costumes. We're talking about Truly.
Yes.
Anyway, Caractacus realizes that Truly is the daughter of the boss, and he tries to abandon this plan. He's like, this
ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
I done fucked up.
Yeah. Truly's like, no, you should see my father.
Well, because the kids give her a piece of the candy, and she tries it. She blows into the end. She's like, oh, this is actually a really cool idea. And the snobby lobby man is like, oh, please go see your father. And she sends in Caractacus in her place.
And we meet the father, and he's just like this big Mr. Monopoly kind of guy.
Blustery. It's like, you have 20 seconds.
Caractacus is bad at pitching his idea, but he does manage to give a whistle to the boss, to the father, and just as the father goes to blow on it to test it, there's a big, like, machinery whistle, and it gets drowned out. So the boss is like, alright, too late.
And then a guy comes in and is like, tasting time, my lord.
And Caractacus tries to bail again, but Truly's like, no, keep going, keep trying, follow
Go
him, follow
after him. Don't let him bully you.
Caractacus follows the father, Mr. Scrumptious, Lord Scrumptious?
Lord
Captain?
Scrumptious.
I don't know. Into the factory.
Into the candy prep room. Very unsanitary.
Oh, God. Don't get me started. He keeps trying to sell the father on the idea, and then Truly comes in, and we get the song Toot Sweets.
I love this song. I love all of the songs, except for one, but we'll get there.
It's supposed to be a play on the French phrase, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I felt like I was insane, being like, am I reading too much into this? Because
No,
it's also
not at
like toot, like a little like
Yeah.
sound, and sweets, like a candy, but also toot sweet.
Yeah.
It
It was a play on words.
and this
This whole song is basically about how awesome this candy is and how fun it is and how everyone's gonna love it. Truly goes in to sing along, and there's a bunch of ensemble acting. I don't know if you noticed the faces of the people working in the candy factory. So they finally get Lord Scrumptious to try it fully, and he does the little toot, and he hears it, and he giggles. Then he tries eating the candy, and he likes it. And so they pass out a bunch of them, and a huge dance number ensues. Ugh.
this was a fun dance number.
Talk about using everything that you have. They like go up some stairs and spin around some rafters and spin around some candy trays. It's great.
They've passed out all the little whistle candies, and everyone is just toot, 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 and just then calamity ensues because the whistles summon like every single dog in England
All of the
to
dogs.
this factory.
All dogs go to Scrumptious.
All dogs went to Scrumptious, and they burst in through the windows, through the doors, just like dogs of all sizes.
Yeah.
They eat the candy. They cause just pandemonium. And Mr. Scrumptious blames Caractacus,
Of
kind
course.
of rightfully so, and
I
kicks
mean,
him
yeah.
out.
And they run off in the chaos. Cut to the kid's bedroom. Caractacus comes in to check and see if they're asleep, and they aren't. And he sort of talks to them a little bit, being like, listen, I really can't afford this car, and I'm sorry.
We have bigger issues.
And so they offer him their treasure chest, which is like kids' treasures, so obviously not really worth anything, but the intention is very adorable. It's like, you don't have to use it to buy the car, you get all in your inventions. It's just a very sweet moment. So he sings to them the lullaby Hushabye Mountain, which is a very pretty song.
Yeah, he reassures them that everything's gonna be okay, and sings them the song that comes back many times, Hushabye Mountain. He then goes and sits pensively on the fence on his castle farm, and he sees in the distance on the horizon a circus coming to town. He zooms in, and he gets another light bulb idea.
He has so many ideas in this movie, and they show every single one of them. Cut to the circus.
We are next in this, like, circus fair festival thing.
Okay, there's one thing that I have to point out, which I only noticed this time. So we see a balloon man who's trying to sell balloons.
Oh,
He's like,
I know
come and get
exactly
it.
what you're...
All the lovely colors, as he holds only orange and
Only
white
two
balloons.
colors. Yep. It's like, what? Are you colorblind?
What are you talking about?
But I didn't write that down because you know why I didn't write that down? Because Caractacus decides to go through this very crowded fairground by bicycle. I was like, what is this stupid idiot doing?
Well, behind the
And
bicycle, he's towing one of his
He's
inventions.
towing. I understand why. By bike was the best.
I
He
know.
pulls up into a little spot and he unveils his box behind him, and it's one of his inventions. It's a haircut machine. It's like an automatic haircut machine.
Which, in no scenario, could go well.
No. He puts on a carnival barker voice and is like, get your haircuts here, automatic haircuts here.
So we see a huge guy break one of the, like, strength carnival machines, like the hitting the thing, the bell has to go up and ding, etc. He breaks it, so obviously, big strong guy. And his wife tells him he should get a haircut. And so he goes and sits in the machine, and everyone sort of crowds around.
And it's like a bowl goes over his head, and and it's powered by a bicycle. This is why he needed a bicycle, because the machine is powered by the bicycle. And Dick Van Dyke hops on the bicycle, bikes, and then the machine starts to smoke, and oh no, it didn't work, and it really fucked up this guy's hair. He's like bald except for a patch on the top.
It like cut a circle from like his scalp all the way around the top and shaved it, except for one tuft right at the peak of his head. It is
understandably so. This man is very upset.
This guy's like, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah. And Cracticus books it out of the carnival, tries to hide in a bunch of spots, but keeps getting found, and then ultimately he hides in the performer tent.
He tries to try and escape, and as he tries to escape, he sees the guy like on the side of the stage, so oh no, he has to join the performers. And thus begins my favorite dance number of all time.
The song is Me Ol' Bamboo.
I love this mostly because for the first half, because he doesn't know it, he is consistently 4 beats behind all of the other dancers, and it's such a fun comedic bit that they just keep up with.
It's really funny. It does not move the plot forward.
Not
it's
at
just
all.
A goofy dance with sticks.
Well, it does a little bit because he gets money from this.
He does, yeah.
No emotional
no
moving
character development. But the dancing was phenomenal. And he steals the show with a bunch of ad-libs, and everyone is okay with it.
Yeah, everyone's just chill with it, and the dancers are like, cool.
The crowd throws more coins as tips than they usually do, because all the other dancers are like, oh yeah, thanks, man.
They give him some of their earnings, so he has all the money. And cut to him bringing the car home.
Yeah, he's driving the car home, pulled by a horse.
The car does not run.
Takes it into the garage, and he gets started repairing it, and like days pass.
Yes, we have a long montage of him working on the car, and the kids waiting. And we cut to a morning, and they're like, Daddy said the car would be finished today. And this is the moment where my heart swells every time I watch this movie. It's like a beautiful, perfect, clear day. The barn doors open. The music swells with the sweet version of the song Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and the car is rolled out, and it's beautiful. And I tear up every time.
The car is gorgeous. It is too nice to be a toy for children now.
No, it's stunningly beautiful car. Anna, do you know who owns this car now?
Tom Hanks?
Peter Jackson. This car is in the city that I'm currently in. Anna, if I see this car, I'm gonna burst into flames.
You have to find it.
I know, I have to find Peter Jackson and be like, hello, yes, Lord of the Rings, great, but Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
But can I see the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car?
And I feel like he would appreciate that more.
The kids run out, they're like, oh my goodness, it's such a pretty car. And the family decides to go on a picnic. Grandpa doesn't go because he's gonna go to Alaska in his memories.
He's in a full fur outfit and he goes into an outhouse. It's wild.
I'm gonna explain this really, really quickly. There's a recurring gag of Grandpa, who's clearly a few screws loose of a milkshake.
Yeah.
In various outfits going to what I thought was an outhouse on the property. I think it's just like a hut, and it's like maybe his equivalent of an inventor's shack. But it's just like when he was going to India, he went in there. When he's going to Alaska, he's going in there.
It's literally enough room for one person to stand and maybe sit.
Yeah.
Like it is what looks like an outhouse, and I think
it looks like an outhouse.
An outhouse. But they repurposed it once they got indoor plumbing. To be just like, Grandpa was like, I'll use that. It's my man cave.
Anyway, Grandpa goes into his man hut. And the kids go off on a picnic, and the car drives, but it makes kind of a funny noise. It makes I'm gonna let you guess this, listener. It makes a chitty chitty bang bang noise.
And to explain it, Dick Van Dyke starts to sing the song Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Anna, your face.
I'll talk about this now, because it comes up a couple times. I don't know anything about cars.
Yeah.
And not that there's a lot of logic in this movie, but I realized I was like, I don't know what happens within a car when it backfires. The bang bangs is the car backfiring.
Yeah.
And I realized
it shouldn't happen that often.
It should not happen that often. For what this car is going to do later, it should not be having that bang bang consistency. And, like, this is not the thing to get hung up on in this movie.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about cars. I've lived in New York for 10 years. I don't own a car. I can barely pump my own gas. Anyway, they drive around. Caractacus and his kids drive around this fun
Everyone
new shiny
waves.
car, and once again, they run Truly off the road into this pond again. And this is when she's like, well, how am I supposed to get out of here? Like, she didn't just reverse it
Last time,
30
it's not like
minutes
she went
prior.
in and deeper. And so, of course, Caractacus offers to carry her, which, like, fine, but he walks in, and I thought it would get deeper. Like, I remembered it being deeper, so, like, maybe the water reached the engine or something. No, it's, like, ankle deep. She could 100% reverse out, but instead he carries her.
Yeah, he carries her back to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and the kids invite her on the picnic, and she joins, and we get the reprieve of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And the picnic takes them to the beach.
It's a very cool beach.
Another car thing, can you drive a nice car like that on sand? I don't think you can or should. I think that would really fuck
Unclear
it up.
if it's, like, compacted sand.
Listen, like, there's a reason people don't drive their cars on sand, and you see, like, go-karts on sand. Like, there's a reason.
Yeah. It's very thin
And
wheels
especially
here.
a nice car.
Yeah. Nah.
Anyway, we get a montage of everyone having fun on the beach.
Playing at the beach, and it's very nice, and Truly's playing with the family, and so it's sort of showing that
Truly's great with the kids.
she's so good with the kids. And,
They've met this woman twice, and the
twice
kids
in their whole
love
lives, and
her.
one of them, she almost hit them.
Well,
I
who's
should
at
be
fault
clear
there?
with
Like,
the car.
they did not look both ways before they crossed. They ran into the street.
Yeah, apparently cars are not common, though, so I would actually, like, give the kids this, where this is a time before cars were,
It's
like,
rural.
everyone had a car,
Yeah.
and it's super rural, so I don't know if they've ever seen a car on the road. I think they've only seen, like, horses and carts.
That being said, cars definitely weren't quiet back then.
No, that's also very fair.
Anyway.
Anyway, so the kids tell Truly how happy they are that she came, and they start singing the song Truly Scrumptious, sort of all about how they really love that she's there and they love her, and her name describes her perfectly, etc. And she sings that she loves them back.
This song has been stuck in my head for the last 3 days.
Yeah?
Like, this is the song.
Choochie Face is what's in my head right now.
I cannot wait to talk about Choochie Face and the Queen, or Baroness, or whatever.
The Baroness
I have,
is my favorite.
I have thoughts about that character.
I'm so excited.
Anyway.
We'll get to it. So the song ends.
The song ends. Also, I just kept this whole scene as they're, like, dipping their toes in the water, like, going for some... I kept thinking about, like, how fucking cold the ocean is in England.
So cold. So cold.
Anyway, the kids run off, and Truly goes to chat with Caractacus, and she tells him that he has wonderful children, and he's like, yeah, they're pretty okay.
She says the beach is beautiful, and he does that thing where he looks at her and is like, it's lovely.
You know, that old thing.
That old chestnut.
Later, everyone's hanging out in the car.
Oh wait, the kids are spying on them first.
Oh, yeah.
The kids are spying on them, and they're like, have they kissed yet? And they're like, no, not yet. Well, they're like, well, as soon as they kiss, they gotta get married. I don't know if I can tell you this, but I am now, apparently, if that's the rule, polyamorous.
Later, they're all in the car. I think Caractacus was, like, taking a nap. Jeremy is looking on the horizon for pirates, and the kids ask Caractacus for a story about pirates. This is the halfway point in the movie.
Is it?
Yeah, this is, like,
Wow.
this is where it's not intermission yet, but
No.
this is where I paused. Because
Yeah.
I was like, how is there more than an hour left of this movie?
Yes. Well, thus begins fully an hour and 10-minute long fantasy sequence.
Yeah.
Nothing that's about to happen happens.
Let's dive into that. Caractacus starts to tell a story. They imagine a ship on the horizon, and Caractacus goes like, oh, that's the ship of the nasty Baron Bombburst.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you haven't heard of the Baron Bombburst? He's the tyrant of fictional Bulgaria.
He's here to steal the fantastic motor car created by the genius Caractacus Potts. And everyone cheers, and he has a really funny moment where he looks at Truly, he's like, yes, hooray!
And so this Baron is getting closer, so they have...
And he's like ordering them to load the cannons to shoot the car he wants to steal? Unclear.
We see the pirate ship. I'm not going to call it a pirate ship, because they're not pirates. They're just...
No. So they ask for a pirate story, and they do not get one.
anyway, Baron's like, we've got them now. They've been cut off by the tide. And we see the car and they're just
Surrounded by water.
like a foot of water.
They try to start the car,
Oh,
but
the sailors on board are just like bumbling idiots.
oh man,
But
it is
they try to start
pure
the car.
chaos on board.
They can't get the car started, and
Yeah.
the car just becomes a boat.
Yeah, just there's like flotation device underneath it. And it's definitely like one of those moments whenever you're telling a story to a kid and then they just like add something to it and you're just like, sure, we'll go with that. Because one
Yeah,
of the
we'll run
kids
with
is like,
that.
yeah, Dad, you always said it was a magic car. And he's like, I did? Okay, sure.
The car becomes a boat, and they start to get away, and we have this big chase sequence on open water. The ship is shooting at the car. And this is the point where I was like, what was the budget of this movie? They have a full privateer ship with multiple masts, and they're
yeah.
shooting, and this is an aerial, like, helicopter. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, there's a lot of helicopter shots in this movie. It's really
yeah.
crazy. So it's chaos aboard the boat. Because the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car boat is faster and more maneuverable, it's able to like spin the boat around and then get back up, and they get back to shore and the flotation device deflates and they're able to just drive away. And of course the boat trying to follow them fully grounds itself.
The Baron is like, I want the car, I want the car.
And then we get introduced to our goons,
Oh, our goons.
which are the spies.
Oh god. So the Baron has spies.
This movie's so dumb. I love it so much.
The spies go to shore and they're dressed like bad guys in a western, and they're like, oh
yeah,
we need
all
to blend
black
in, we're in
cloaks.
England. So they change costumes and they look like Sherlock Holmes rejects.
Yeah.
And they have very thick German accents.
Vulgarian? I don't know.
Yeah, those
The accents in this movie are patchy.
questionable. Meanwhile, Caractacus, Truly, and the kids are driving away.
He drops Truly off at her house, and she says that she underestimated him, etc.
Yeah. And he says he can't be a mother to his children. Like, that's the one
Basically.
thing he can't do.
Yeah.
But he drops Truly off, and they say they hope they'll see each other again.
Yes.
She watches him drive away.
Goes to her
Yeah.
estate. And thus begins the only song that I fast forward through every time.
It's the song Lovely Lonely Man. She sings it by herself about Caractacus. It's just like a love ballad.
Now, this part of the movie is the story. So did Caractacus make up a time in which Truly had to sing a love song about him?
Very good question. I mean,
Yes.
I would posit that this is just happening Well,
No, 'cause this is a part of the story that he's telling his kids.
you're pulling threads out of a very shaky sweater
Shaky
already.
Banshee. That's fair.
Don't look too closely into that. Anyway, the song ends. It's pretty. We like get that she's
She's
got
in love with
feelings,
him.
yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Back to the spies. The
Yes,
goons.
The goons. They are trying several different Looney Tunes ways to capture this car. I swear to God.
Wile E. Coyote tactics.
Pile up some TNT under a bridge, but it blows themselves up. They paint an entire backdrop of a tunnel.
Of a
And then
tunnel.
hang it in front of a tunnel, and then park a carriage behind it that could capture the car. So the idea is that you drive through this painting. Who made this painting?
Also, the time has passed. It is the next day.
Yeah.
So the bridge thing fails. Next day, they've dropped this drop cloth in front of the tunnel. Caractacus, Truly, and the kids are driving around again in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. But Truly's father is behind them and like
Gold
dealing with
scrumptious.
road rage, being like, I need to get faster. And they pull Chitty Chitty Bang Bang off and they let the father go ahead. And then he drives straight into the trap, straight into the truck. And the goons realize their mistake, but then they get an idea. They steal the father's car.
And their outfits.
Yeah, and they go to Caractacus's house
Mm-hmm.
to like, because now I guess they know where he lives. Why they didn't just go to where he lives?
No sense was made. This is why they are goons.
Yes. They get to Caractacus's house. He's not home. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's not there, but Grandpa's there.
Grandpa's there in his India pith helmet.
And these goons don't know what Caractacus looks like, really.
Yeah.
They're just like, he's like a white dude.
Right.
And they see the father go into his lab, his
Well,
outhouse.
and they talk to him first. They're like, "Are you Mr. Potts?" And the thing is that, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
And so he's like, "Yes, but I don't have time. I'm off to India." And then he goes into his outhouse manhunt.
And I guess the goon's idea is like, well, if we can't get the car, we'll get the guy that made the car.
Yeah.
They call up, there is an airship flying over
Zeppelin.
them, a Zeppelin. And from the Zeppelin drops an anchor. They hook the anchor through the roof of the outhouse, essentially kidnapping Grandpa, and they
haul it
fly away.
And Grandpa almost falls out. He's very confused.
Yeah, and I would call them the crew, but Cracticus Truly and the kids driving around in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang see Grandpa. They're like, what is that? Is that Grandpa?
It's like, that's Grandpa's hut under the Zeppelin.
They chase after him, but they go off the road, and Cracticus driving isn't really watching, and they drive off of a cliff.
Yep.
And then intermission. And we have probably, I'd say, like 45 seconds of just like a dark screen that says intermission.
With some music.
And then we fade back in, we see them go off the cliff again, and surprise, not only can Chitty Chitty Bang Bang float, it can sprout wings and fly.
Mm-hmm.
This is the least aerodynamic vehicle I've ever seen.
Yeah. Of all time.
But they chase the Zeppelin.
Yeah, and so we cut back to Grandpa, who starts singing the song Posh, which is hilarious. Basically, the Zeppelin, they're over the ocean, and the Zeppelin is losing height. They have, like, too many people in it, and with holding up the hut, they don't have enough steam power, I don't know how Zeppelins work, to continue with the height that they're at. So Grandpa gets, like, dipped in the ocean, like, up to his chest, as he's singing this song about how, you know, oh, it's the posh life for me. It's such a fun song.
I'm looking up how Zeppelins work.
Great, thank you. While you're doing that. So to, like, get rid of the weight, the Baron is throwing out all of this extra stuff that he has in this very tiny Zeppelin with a lot of people. But eventually they're like, oh, we're still losing height, and the spies are like, we have nothing else to throw out. And that gives the Baron an evil idea, and so he throws the spies out. Now, this is a fear that I have that I did not have the last time I watched this
Being
movie.
thrown out of a Zeppelin?
No. Being in the ocean and watching my mode of transportation move away from me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I sail, and I have crossed oceans in a boat, and it is a genuine, like, wake up in the middle of the night fear of falling off of the boat at night and watching it sail away and knowing that no one's gonna know that I was gone for, like, another hour.
Yeah.
And so, watching that, I just had a brief moment of, oh, that's a new adult fear that I didn't have last time I watched this movie.
Oh, no.
Because they throw these spies off into the ocean, and I'm just like, oh no, I'm getting a little bit of, like, hearts pounding going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Chitty.
It's nighttime now. Back to the car is flying through the night. Cracticus is no longer navigating. The car is navigating.
Yep, Truly
And
wakes
he's
up and
just
is like,
okay
what's
with
going on?
this.
And he's just like, I don't know, car's taking us a place. Yeah.
It's the next morning. The Baron from the Zeppelin drops a little speaker down to the hut, and it announces to Grandpa being like, we will be landing in Bulgaria soon. Please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
Yep.
And we get a lovely aerial shot of this castle in the mountains.
Yeah.
Fully thought it was the Princess Diaries castle at the end. It's not. I looked it up.
No.
Those are different castles.
It's the Sleeping Beauty castle, though.
From the animated?
So this castle is the one that inspired Walt Disney for the Sleeping Beauty castle, and it's like the castle that is in all of the parks. Like, this is the one that inspired that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like in Magic Kingdom. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's the same one.
The Zeppelin and outhouse land. I'm pretty sure that's not how Zeppelins land. They like tie it while it's still
Did you figure out how Zeppelins
airborne.
work?
Yeah, it's like a hot air rising situation.
Cool.
But anyway, the Baron lands. It's this like grand castle. He clearly has like, he's not a king, but he could essentially be a king.
Essentially, he
Kinda
wears
like a
crown.
local tyrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they liked the alliteration of Baron Bombburst, so...
Yes. Grandpa is brought inside to the Baron's court. Grandpa tries to explain. He's like,
Yes.
I don't think I'm who you think I am, but the Baron is like, well, if you're not, then I'm gonna execute you. And he's like, all right, no, fine, I can be an inventor for you.
That's
and he's
fine.
brought down to a lab/dungeon.
How did they get to the lab? On a giant toy horse.
The Baron does. The Baron
Yeah.
is... We get really beaten over the head with how childish this Baron is.
Very much
He's
so.
traveling via, like, toddler toy, the, like,
Yeah.
bouncy horse
But,
that
like,
moves.
made
but
for an adult.
man-sized.
Yeah.
Grandpa is brought down to this dungeon lab, and he's told to make the Vulgarian equivalent of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang float. The Baron doesn't know it can fly yet. Or be tortured. And there's a bunch of old inventors down in the lab who have also been just stuck down there.
They're like, we've been here for years, and they sort of describe the torture that they've been through. And of course, Grandpa's like, but making a car that floats, that's not possible. And then all of the guys decide that they're going to try and help him out because he's been given 24 hours to do this. And we start the song, The Roses of Success.
Which is like a, we'll make it happen, don't give
Yeah.
up song.
Well, and the song is like, every failure is an opportunity to rethink and try again, which I think is a really good concept
nice
to have in a
life
kids
lesson.
movie. It's just like, it was a song that I was like, yeah, I see why this would be in a kids movie, because it's like, it's okay to fail. If you fail, you get to learn and try again. Great, done.
Meanwhile, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is still flying. It is morning. The crew, Truly, Caractacus, and the kids see the Vulgarian
should mention-
castle.
That they try to make the car float, but the car fully collapses.
Oh, the inventors and Grandpa fully just break a car.
Anyway,
The crew in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, they see the Baron's castle, and they're like, oh, could that be where it is? And then they see the Zeppelin, and they're like, oh, Grandpa's definitely there.
but the Baron sees the car.
They see the flying car, and this is 1910. I think a flying car would be alarming now. Everyone thinks they're being attacked.
Yep.
And then
His wife.
the Baroness...
Did you notice her outfit?
No.
She is in a full devil outfit. Like, they're just leaning in at this point. Like, she has horns on her head, and she's like in
Does she?
a
I
red and
didn't
black
notice that.
sequined outfit.
I have a theory about the Baroness, but
Great.
when we get to Tootsie Wootsie song, we'll talk about
Yeah.
it. But the Baroness is like, there are children up in that car. And at first, I was like, oh, she's concerned for the children's safety. That's a good person. The Chitty Chitty Bang Bang crew sees like this commotion. They're like, not going there. They escape and they land in the town nearby. But in the castle, the Baron's like, I want that car. I want that car. He sends soldiers to the town. And then someone yells, call for the child catcher,
This is the Baroness. The Baroness calls for the child catcher.
who has just like a big cage on a carriage. They head to town. The Chitty Chitty Bang Bang crew land in town. They leave the car.
Foolish.
And they're just wandering around, being like, oh, I wonder where we are.
And the townspeople are really weird to them.
They just stare. They don't speak to them.
Yeah, suddenly Truly notices, like, they're staring at the kids. Oh my god, there are no kids in this town square. What's going on? Suddenly,
Just then,
the guards.
fanfare,
Scatter!
chaos. The villagers flee, like windows barred, doors shut. They're in the town square. An old man opens his door being like, get in here. What are you doing? Bring those kids in here. We must get the children out of sight.
So it's a toy store.
It's a toy store. He's a toy maker. He tells them that children are illegal.
We also never know his name. He is exclusively referred to as Toy Maker. But children are illegal. The Baroness hates children. So the Toy Maker hides them under a trap door under a carpet. And the guards start searching, and in
They go
comes the
door to
child
door.
catcher, who has a
Oh
hook
my god.
and a net and a giant fake pointy nose.
that he uses to smell for children.
Yes.
He's absolutely insane looking.
Bananas person. I would love to play the child catcher. I feel like it would be the most fun. Like, I can smell them.
The soldiers and the child catcher come into the toy maker's workshop, and they look, and the soldiers don't find anything, but then the child catcher finds the trap door. The soldiers go down, they're like, we can't find anyone. Child catcher's like, fools! And he goes downstairs, and he finds these giant jack-in-the-boxes, and it's truly Caractacus and the two kids disguised as jack-in-the-boxes, and they fool the child catcher for now.
But then he goes to the toy maker. He's like, I don't trust a man who makes toys for children, and it's sort of repeated like all the toys are for the Baron. This Baron is
Yeah.
obsessed with kids' toys. Suddenly a man yells, they found the car. And so all of the guards leave the toy shop and they take Chitty up to the castle.
The crew gets out of their costumes from the Jack in the Box and they see this happen. Like, they're in the basement, but there's a little window. And the kids are being so loud. They're like, what are you going to do, Daddy? They're so loud. And Cractus is like, we gotta go get Grandpa.
Like, we can't just leave without Grandpa. Like, that's insane.
We can't leave him in this foreign country.
Right. Also, we should mention that the Baron's birthday is the next day. So that the toy maker is working on something for the Baron's birthday the next day. So Caractacus decides to go to the castle, and the toy maker sort of reluctantly goes with him and reminds them, have to stay out of sight, stay in the basement.
Truly and the kids stay behind in the basement.
So they sneak up to the castle, and they can't really see any way in. Back to the basement, the kids are hungry, and Truly is like, okay, there's no food in here. I have to go and find us some food, and tells the kids, do not leave the basement under no circumstances. Guess what's going to happen?
The car arrives at the castle. The Baron is like, my favorite car. I command you to fly. And it doesn't.
Of course. So he sends for Grandpa. So great. He sends for Grandpa to come and fly because he assumes he's the inventor. But of course, the Baroness comes and
gets in the back
we
seat.
Sort of get to understand. It's like the Baron grumbles. It's like, she always spoils my fun. So obviously the Baron isn't really into the Baroness.
Grandpa gets in the passenger seat, tries to make the car work. The Baroness gets in the back seat. Some lever is pulled. This giant spring appears and just rockets the Baroness into the sky. And she has this really floofy skirt, so she just kind of like floats
it's
up.
Like a parachute,
probably like 100 feet in the sky.
And so the Baron thinks this is amazing and pulls out a gun and decides to try and shoot her down. He's like, I've been wanting to do this for years. Don't move! And so he shoots at her. Now, he doesn't hit her, but I think he does hit the skirt, and so it collapses. And she falls.
The castle is surrounded by a lake. It's like it has a lake on one side, so the Baroness falls into the lake. Yes. She doesn't just crash into the pavement. And he's like, oh, damn it, I wanted to hit her.
He's like, I'll get her next time.
God. She takes that way too well in stride.
She's like, I'm fine.
Back in the town, the child catcher has returned, disguised as a lollipop salesman. He's just got like a costume on.
We are about to learn
how dumb kids are.
That taking candy from strangers is a bad idea.
His cart is disguised as like a candy workshop, and the town square is still empty, but he rumbles into the town square with his cart, and he's like, ice cream, chocolate, all free just today.
Children, come and get it.
And these stupid kids are tricked.
Jeremy decides this is super legit and decides they should go get some for them and for Truly, because Jemima has a moment of like, Truly said to stay here, and he's like, we'll go get some food for her too, and that's fine. So they go running after them, and some townspeople try to stop the kids because they know what's about to happen, but don't do anything except for saying, children, get back here, because I think they're all just sort of really oppressed. So the kids catch up to the child catcher.
The child catcher's like, everything's inside, and they go into the cart, and just then the door falls, and all the decorations fall away, and they're in the cart. It's a cage, and he hops in the front, and he drives the horses away. Truly sees the children being kidnapped, and Caractacus and the toy maker, having returned from looking at the castle, see Truly running after the cart. He's like, oh, what's wrong? And she's like, they got the children! I had one job!
And I didn't do it! We get to the castle, the kids are brought in a cage and presented to the Baroness, and they yell that their dad is going to come and save them and blow up the castle, and everyone takes this very seriously and gasps. And so she sends them to the tower, but as they leave, Jemima calls the Baroness ugly, and she fully faints.
Fully faints.
Hilarious.
The toy maker is next rowing Caractacus and Truly across the lake towards the castle into this grotto under the castle. Yes. And surprise, it's full of children.
Very Oliver.
I wrote the same thing.
Yeah.
Later, during all the chaos, there's so many kids. It is in this grotto that these townspeople, these poor oppressed townspeople, have hidden their children for the last
12 years. And some of these children are younger than 12, which means that they were born and then put in there, because otherwise they would be somethinged by the Baroness? It's unclear.
It's unclear. It's never explicitly said. Cracticus, Truly, the toy maker get down there. They learn that Grandpa is in the dungeon. The kids are in the tower.
One kid asks, "Are you here to save us?" And he's like, "Well, don't give up hope," and then sings a reprise of Hushabye Mountain. He gets choked up and Truly finishes the song, and then the toy maker, who's the only sane person in this movie, is like, "How is that helpful?"
This is a gripe of mine. If I were this kid who hasn't seen sunlight in 12 years, I would not want this foreign man who doesn't know my life struggle telling me not to be afraid and then singing in my face.
Absolutely not. Well, which is why the toy maker's response,
How is this helpful? Let's not deal with this now.
"Oh my god."
Cracticus hatches a plan.
Has another idea.
He does have a good idea.
Yeah.
For tomorrow on the Baron's birthday.
Yes, and he recruits all the kids to help. Cut to the next day.
Upstairs in the castle, we get the Baron and the Baroness in their bedroom, and we get this. It starts with like very feigned affection, and we get the Choo-Chee song.
She is in insane lingerie. Like,
Yeah,
full
this-
corset, short
okay.
skirt, braids to the ground, and like a Muffet hat.
Do you want to talk about this song?
You go
This
for
is
it,
the stuff in
Anna.
my head. Well, no, because I want to talk about the Baroness, and that might take a minute.
No, go for it. Let's start now.
Okay, all right. First, let's talk about this song. This song is essentially them, like, it's like a lovey-dovey song, but every single time they, like, land in a certain spot, the Baron has, like, laid traps for the Baroness. Like,
He keeps trying to kill her.
he keeps trying to kill her. At one point, like, a suit of armor is supposed to clobber her on the head, and she steps away at the wrong time. She lays on the desk and rolls over, and, like, a stalactite fall, like a thing falls from the
It's like a
ceiling, and
metal
she, like,
pole from,
sees
like, a-
that one. And then they get to one point and he like fully gets her in a trap door and he laughs at her, but then she appears behind him and oh, it's so funny, she doesn't die.
Yeah.
And he's disappointed, and every single time he's like, damn it. Okay. I have a theory about the Baroness.
Tell me,
So
I'm
we
so
have
excited.
established that like the Baron is just like this big child, and it gets worse.
Yeah.
This poor woman, we have established that she hates children
Mm-hmm.
or is afraid of children,
Mhm.
and her husband's trying to kill her. This poor, like, Stockholm Syndrome woman trapped in this castle, married. Maybe she hates children because her husband is the
A child?
biggest child, and like it's maybe like he doesn't want kids and he's too busy being a big baby, and so like she says like no one else can have kids because like it's too painful for me to see other people. And then on top of that, he's fucking trying to kill her. Every 12 years of this?
Yeah.
And she's just all sexy. For him, she's doing all the things
Uh-huh.
to make her life bearable. He
Uh-huh.
is not an easy person to be married to.
No.
Justice for the Baroness is all I'm saying.
Yes. Now, we should be clear,
I
she
know
also,
I'm reading too much into this.
She also, yeah, refused to allow anyone to have children, and they are all stuck underneath a castle now. So, like, justice in measure.
She deserves
for
what
the
she
Baroness.
gets.
Yes, she does deserve what she gets. But, like, I think she was in a bad situation and made worse choices.
Yeah, the Baron is worse.
Yes, very much so. So anyway, this song happens.
Next day, birthday ball at the castle.
We're at the party. So we see all these old people in fancy purple outfits dancing. The Baron is bored.
It's like, this is a dumb birthday.
Worst birthday ever. So the Baroness says she has a surprise for him and summons in the toy maker. And he brings in 2 giant boxes. And he opens the first one, and it's Truly dressed up as a doll. And the Baron is upset and says he has hundreds of dolls. So this tells you what sort of person this man is.
Very much the energy of Dudley being like, how many
Yeah.
are there?
That's a
36?
really good one.
I
This
was
is
37
adult
last
Dudley.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adult
Perfect.
Dudley. But Truly doll is not just like a regular doll, she's like a music box doll. So the toy maker goes and he like twists a key, and Truly starts to spin and sings the song Doll in a Music Box.
Yes.
As like she like does the very staccato
Mechanical
movements of maybe a mechanical doll. Yeah.
Technically, this is a very impressive song for this actress because, you know, the movements have to be very, very precise. And it
She
has
is
to be
actively
exactly
spinning.
right. She's actively spinning. She's singing this song. It's honestly very impressive.
Yeah.
And the Baron is very impressed with this. Now, he fully assumes that she is animated. He does not believe
Yeah.
that she is a person pretending.
Baron's dumb. I think we've established that.
During the applause, the other box opens, and it's Caractacus dressed up like a rag doll. And he starts walking around like a puppet on strings. Now, Dick Van Dyke was attached to strings, which explains how he did some of the tricks.
I had that note of like, is he on a wire? Some
Yes.
of this stuff, like, he's a fantastic dancer, but like some of the stuff is, if we're talking gravity,
Yeah, no, in terms of like weight balance, it's not possible
Yeah.
without a string holding him up. So he did actually have a string, and if you look closely at the back, you can see where it was attached, but you can't actually see the string, which is cool.
So his dance and Caractacus doll goes up to the Truly doll. He winds her up again, and they have a little reprise of her song Doll on a music box, and he sings Truly Scrumptious.
Yes.
His doll tries to flirt with her doll, and she smacks him on the face. It's funny.
Now, there's a moment where there's a mirror behind Truly, and he gets distracted by his own reflection and how ridiculous he looks. And so at one point, Truly pushes him to get him out of whatever thought process he's in, and the Baron notices. And so suddenly,
the Baron gets suspicious.
the song ends, everyone starts to clap, but he's like, wait a minute, and he goes to check.
He also sees, when the dance has ended, he sees like Caractacus making eye contact with the toy maker. He's like, wait a second. He goes up, and Caractacus knows he's in deep shit, and he starts to dance again, like frenetically for the Baron.
And the Baron's very distracted.
Yeah, the Baron's just like, oh, ha 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 ha, like gets wrapped up in it. It's funny.
While this is happening,
Suddenly, children from the sewers, like children come out of grates in the floor
Yes.
and like hide under tables, like no one notices them yet.
Yes.
They manacle some people's legs together.
Uh-huh.
Up from the ceiling, they pull, there's like a
they
trap
drop
door from
a
the ceiling
subtle rope and hook
Yeah.
that no one else notices.
and Caractacus grabs it and tries a couple times without the Baron knowing to hook
Yep.
the back of the Baron's pants.
Yeah, huh?
And just then he succeeds and pandemonium. Children appear, they jump on the tables.
Yeah.
They
The Baron is
hoist
lifted
the
into
Baron
the air.
up. They drop a net from the ceiling.
Yep.
They appear with ropes
Tie the
and
ropes
it's
up.
suddenly Oliver.
Yes.
This is when it was Oliver for me.
During this pandemonium, Caractacus, Truly, and the Toymaker go to find the kids in the tower. So Truly finds them, but they can't get the door open, so they use a cannon as a battering ram.
Back in the ballroom, the children overwhelm soldiers that are called, and then the townsfolk appear.
I know, they open up the big gates and all the parents come in to fight for their
All
kids.
the parents.
It was so nice.
Yeah. And you know what also happens in this moment? Our goons
Our
come back
goons come
for
back.
the
They
briefest
swam
second
through the ocean
to
into
the
this
lake. I mean, maybe the lake connects to the ocean. I don't know. It's
don't
unclear.
know.
They appear just drenched from the lake, and they get onto the lake shore, and then they see just like the pandemonium of children throwing soldiers off of the roof, and they're
they
like, you know
nope
what?
it back into the lake.
Not dealing with that.
So, in the hall, a bunch of kids then surround the child catcher. There's more to this movie, by the way, guys. So they surround the child catcher. There's a big back and forth moment, and they eventually
Jets and sharks.
get him into a net, and he's raised into the air, and he's yelling from the net.
The Baron and the Baroness try to escape. They go down to the cellars and they slide down what I'm assuming is like the garbage chute, but they land in the child catcher's cage that the children had like laid in wait.
Kids
and they
were too
lock
smart
it and
for them.
and they get locked in the cage, and that's it for them.
Yep.
Just then, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang enters the fight.
Just drives herself right into the hall.
Player 2 has entered the game.
So, Grandpa also apparently has freed himself
Somehow
from the dungeon.
Grandpa's there.
Not sure how. Maybe one of the kids went and opened up all of the cages in the dungeon. Anyway.
The good guys win the battle, and they
Huzzah!
drive away. All the kids come out and cheer them. The wings pop out with propellers, and Caractacus, Truly, the kids, and Grandpa all fly
Yeah.
away in the car.
Ta-da! And the story ends, and so we're back at that beach that they had the picnic at. So all of that was a story. Caractacus finishes the story, but the kids interrupt with the final line, and Daddy and Truly were married.
And live happily ever after.
And Truly asked, is that how the story ends? And Caractacus is does not know how to answer that question.
Super
He's like,
awkward.
it's getting late, we should go. And so he goes and he drops her off at her house, and there's like a weird, awkward goodbye.
It's
and
awkward.
He goes after her and he apologizes for what the children said and if it embarrassed her and that it's ridiculous. And she's like, what do you mean ridiculous? And he's like, well, you know, you live in a big house and with your father, and we just live in different worlds. And she says the smartest line in the movie, which is like, you know, if I said that, you would call me a snob. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And runs
She
away.
calls him like an inverted snob.
You done fucked up.
Yeah, you done fucked up, Cracticus. He drives away. The kids want to see Truly again.
Mm-hmm.
They get home and Lord Scrumptious' driver is there with his car, and they hear like men
yelling.
shouting. They go inside. Lord Scrumptious and Grandpa are playing with toy soldiers. Turns out Lord Scrumptious and Grandpa were like in the war together.
Yeah, that's the colonel that he worked for.
Yeah.
Was Lord Scrumptious, and Lord Scrumptious is like, he's the best Batman I've ever had.
Lord Scrumptious has surprised Caractacus there with the offer to buy one of his invention, the Toot Sweet, because they're bad for people, but like they're great for dogs, and like dogs like to eat them. So
the whole thing is he's gonna be rich, and all he has to do is sign this piece of paper. But instead of doing that,
instead of reading the contract, he's like, oh, I'm gonna be rich. 1 second. He drives Chitty Chitty Bang Bang back to Truly's.
There's one moment where Lord Scrumptious asks Grandpa, he's like, what is wrong with your son? And he's like, he's an eccentric. Can't imagine where he gets it from. And I did giggle.
Cracticus is driving like the wind to get back to Truly's.
Yeah.
But before he gets there, he accidentally almost hits her in the road and drives her once again into that same pond.
That same fucking pond. So he goes and gets her from the car.
And she's like, what are you doing, you dummy? He wades out to get her and he tells her it's not ridiculous that they get married.
And she says that she heard at the house what happened, and so he is carrying her and he gives her a big ol' smooch, and she says, well, now you have to marry me.
Which I just realized is a total callback to what the kids say on the beach.
It is.
I didn't make that connection.
Yeah. So they drive off.
He takes her back in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang to his house, and he talks about, he's like, well, you know, like, it's important to be pragmatic. Like, I can't have my head in the clouds all the time.
Yeah.
As the car fully takes off again, this time without wings.
No, just fully flies off.
He's like, I need to be sensible.
Yeah, as the car flies. And we get the final reprise of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and he, like, flies over his house, and we see everyone waving at him, and I'm just like, go sign the contract, you big dolt.
And that's the end.
And then the final song goes out over the cue card that says exit music, and I laugh.
Oh.
Anyway, that's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, y'all.
Grace, what did you think of this movie now seeing it? When was the last time you had seen this before today?
It was definitely before I left New York, so it's been a couple of years.
Oh, so recently.
Yeah, I mean, like...
I thought you were going to say, like, childhood.
No. I love this movie. I love the music. It is a full nostalgia blast for me, so if I'm ever in a moment where I just need, like, a moment of nostalgia that's just joyous and there's literally no weird baggage with it, I will watch this movie. So it was probably, like, 2018, the last time I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this movie. It's so dumb and over the top, and it's great. Well, Anna, as an adult watching this kids movie for the first time, what did you think?
This movie is fucking wild. And I enjoyed it. I knew I couldn't come at it with like super hard critiques because it is a children's movie and it's highly stylized and it's from like the 60s. Yeah. Like I knew it was gonna be weird. Mm-hmm. It's about a flying car. I thought the car talked, honestly. Like
that's fair.
I was expecting just like weird. I did not expect the format where I was like, we kept getting through and I was like, okay, like this seems like a pretty normal-ish movie. Like the car is kind of fantastical, and then like it fully went off the rails with with the story. Yeah. It was fun. It was a hoot. I'm not sure I would watch it again for like a couple years, and I'm not sure I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but it was
that's fair.
Fine.
No, I mean, and listen, my love of this movie is fully nostalgia based. I am very aware of its flaws, but I love it anyway.
Yeah. Do you want to do a little dramaturgy?
Yeah.
Dramaturgy report. Dramaturgy report. What? Now, you always do like an electric guitar on that, which is not the instrument I think of for dramaturgy.
And yet, I think it started because in our first tester episode, of Footloose, there was a consistent electric guitar during intense moments where it was just like he would say something intense,
That's
and in
true.
the background there was like a and so I think that's how that started.
That's fair. That's fair. I was just curious.
Yeah.
This was directed by Ken Hughes, an English film director, writer, and producer. He was the co-writer of this and the director, and he has been called, quote, a filmmaker whose output was consistently interesting and entertaining and deserved more critical attention than it received. He did a lot of stuff in his day, but like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is like what he is known for, even though he did not do a lot of stuff like this. He did a lot of dramas. This cinematographer was Christopher George Joseph Chalice, a British cinematographer who worked on more than 70 features from the 40s onwards.
So, the original screenplay was written by Earl Hamner Jr., but he was replaced by Roald Dahl. So this script is written by Roald Dahl. This was originally a book written by Ian Fleming, who's the guy who wrote the James Bond series.
Yeah.
So this was like one of his few kids' books. The screenplay was a bit different from the original story. So in Fleming's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang story, it was about the Potts family and their flying motor car rescuing a French candy maker and his family from gangsters led by Joe the Monster.
We almost had gangsters.
So the entire story of Bulgaria and that whole thing is entirely a Roald Dahl creation, which sort of makes sense with all
That
of the
tracks.
crazy fantastical stuff. And he also came up with the name Truly Scrumptious, which is probably a tribute to Ian Fleming's female characters like Honey Rider and Pussy Galore.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a callback to that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Roald Dahl as a screenplay writer because obviously we know him most for his kids' books like Matilda and the Witches and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So he was a British novelist, short story writer, poet, screenwriter, and wartime fighter pilot. His stories are known for their unexpected endings, and his children's books are known for their unsentimental, macabre, and often darkly comic mood, featuring villainous adult enemies of children characters. So he only wrote 2 screenplays in total. One was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and one was the James Bond film You Only Live Twice. I now really want to watch that movie because I'm curious how Roald Dahl's style of like weirdly fantastical characters was worked into the James Bond universe. For the screenplay, the film producer Albert Broccoli was best known for producing the James Bond film franchise from 1962 to 1989, and he was looking to recreate the success that Mary Poppins had, which was 1964, and so he decided to emulate that with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, both in tone and style. So he hired the same musical talents to work on it. So the songwriters were the Sherman Brothers. He also got Dick Van Dyke, and he tried to get Julie Andrews, but she turned it down. And so they cast Sally Ann Howes instead because she replaced Julie Andrews in My Fair Lady. Apparently also, according to Dick Van Dyke, the Vulgarian adventure was written to be real, and the fantasy narrative aspect was a last-minute addition to the screenplay. So originally, that was supposed to be the whole story, was that actually someone heard about this car and was coming to capture them, and it was actually a
Maybe they were like, that
car.
sounds too scary.
Yeah, but they changed it last minute to it being a story that he told. So, the music and lyrics, this was the Sherman Brothers, which were an American songwriting duo. They specialized in musical films. They are most well known for writing It's a Small World After All.
Oh.
Yeah, they also worked on Mary Poppins, but I'm not going to go into all of that until we actually get to that movie. But their first non-Disney assignment came with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and it got their 3rd Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song for the titular song. So for actors and casting, in an interview in 1967, Dick Van Dyke revealed he only accepted the lead role on the condition he would not have to attempt a British accent. So we talked about that early on. He originally turned down the role, but they kept offering it to him because, again, they were trying to recreate the success of Mary Poppins, and they kept adding in more money. Eventually, the offer reached 7 figures plus a percentage of the profits, and he finally accepted the role. But the reason he was available for this was because he turned down the role of Fagin in Oliver. Can you imagine?
Which is wild.
Yeah.
I want to know why he turned that down.
I don't know, but I can't imagine him as that role for some reason. I don't know. It just feels like a sinister role.
Anyway, not important.
Anyway, we talked about how Truly Scrumptious was originally for Julie Andrews, but she declined, so Sally Ann Howes replaced her. Lionel Jeffries, who played Dick Van Dyke's father, this was Grandpa, is actually 6 months younger than Dick Van Dyke.
I could tell he was in, like, a bit
Old
of
man.
heavy makeup.
Heavy makeup, yeah.
Yeah, old man clothes.
Do you want to talk about reception?
Reception. This film was the 10th most popular at the box office in 1969. However, because of its high budget, it actually lost United Artists an estimated $8 million. It did not reach a profit. The general reviews were like, weird title, fun movie, too long.
Yes.
It has a
Correct.
67% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That also tracks.
Awards, it was nominated for Best Original Song for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It did not win. Same thing, Golden Globes, nominated, did not win. Adaptations-wise, there were some toys released of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, as well as a comic book in 1969. A educational PC game was released in 1996 called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang's Adventure in Tinkertown, where players have to solve puzzles as the car to complete the game.
Adorable.
There was a musical adapted for the stage, written by Richard and Roger Sherman with a book by Jeremy Sams. It premiered on the West End in 2002 with 6 new songs. Mm-hmm. A Broadway production opened in 2005. An Australian production opened in 2012 with a German production in 2014. And that's all my dramaturgy.
Excellent. Sangin'.
So much singing. Like, Dick Van Dyke can sing. Sally Ann Howes can sing.
Yeah. I didn't mind the kids' voices. And even Grandpa's song was really fun. His 2 songs were really fun.
Unnecessary, but fun.
Honestly, most of these songs, very few of them were necessary for the plot, and very few of them were necessary for character development.
At least they didn't take place in a burlesque club.
That's fair. It was a genuine musical in which people did burst into song.
A true blue, genuine musical.
Yeah, I love Dick Van Dyke's voice. This was pre-era of romanticizing tenors, so he is very much a baritone, and it's great. I love a baritone voice. I loved Sally Ann Howes. I had never seen her in anything, and I was like, I just want to see you be Eliza Doolittle. I want to see you do more. Yeah. And the dancing was a delight.
Oh my god. It was so great to see. Like, we got a lot of dancing in The Gay Divorcee, but this was better.
Yeah.
The
well,
Toot Sweets dance.
Style.
That's right. I shouldn't say it was better. It was a different style. It was so fun. And even, like, silly little dances. Like, there was a little dance in the ballroom at the Baron's birthday that was just, like, very physical comedy, and it was silly, and I liked it.
Yeah. The dances really, I don't know, they're just the big joy of this whole movie for me. Anna?
What?
What are your gripes?
I've already griped about the Baroness.
Yes.
I think the Baroness is my biggest gripe. There was something else. I guess I wanted a better arc for the goons. Like, they got dropped in the ocean, and then they were like, I had fully forgotten about them when they came back. Like, I liked that I saw that they weren't dead, and maybe that was a scene added just so audiences didn't think they were just
a character
murdered.
Had died. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, truly not being able to reverse out of the pond once she had met a man who could carry her. Yeah, those are my gripes.
That's fair. That's fair. I wrote down gripes, not a 1, perfect movie, accepting no notes at this time.
I accept no criticism.
Absolutely not. No, I fully agree with the driving into the pond and then not being able to reverse. It's the biggest, like, just truly. If you want a man to carry you, there are better ways. What was your moment of joy?
What was my moment of joy? You go first. I'm trying to think about it.
I love the doll in a music box dance just for the technicality that she had to work through. She was able to do that in one shot, which is really, really impressive. I love that just for the specific detail that was put into that particular dance. I thought that was amazing. And then just in general, I love the grandfather and his weird outfits. I find all of his responses, because he's very just like, yes sir, what do I say? Like, that's his whole vibe.
I just thought of my moment of joy,
Mm-hmm.
which is one, just like the budget of having like a helicopter of a high-speed chase at sea.
Yeah.
And also, we didn't talk about this, but the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is sailing away in an S curve, which you're supposed to do if someone's shooting at you,
Yeah.
which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And like, a gun is different than like cannons on the side of a ship.
Yeah.
But that same
the
idea of
concept.
like, I'm being, the concept is there. And I was like, that is a small technical detail that I appreciated.
All right.
Hit me with those fun facts.
So apparently, Phil Collins claims that he was one of the children storming the castle at the film's ending, but he says that he was edited out because he had a rather large and unsightly bandage on his head that was covering a cyst.
Ew!
I know! Oh man. Then the last little bit, which I found was kind of interesting. If you'll notice, Grandpa's vest, he has a medal on his vest. So it's a war medal. The medal was the South Africa Medal, which was awarded for service in the Zulu campaign of 1879. Now, if he was a veteran of that campaign, he would be anywhere between 50 and 70 years old at the time that this film took place. So I just thought that was interesting.
Look at that! Historical costuming done right.
Yeah,
Well, this was a long one, but a joyous one.
this was a long one. Did you have anything for the listeners to look up?
No. I have no homework.
Fair enough. I was going to say, if you can find the book and you to read it, big recommend. So I had that book growing up. My parents got it for me after I became obsessed with this. It's really weird. Similar weird vibes, but a completely different plot. So it is an entirely new story. Yeah, so that would be my homework. If you can find the book, it's not a long book. I want to say it's like 100, 130 pages max.
Yeah,
So
it's a
really
kid's
quick
book.
read, but yeah, it's a good one.
Dope. Well, if you're still with us, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 5678, a movie musical podcast. This has been us. I am Anna.
I am Grace.
You can follow us on social media at 5678, a movie musical podcast, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow along for sneak peek teasers of upcoming episodes and dramaturgical facts of current episodes.
You can also email us at 5678, a movie musical podcast at gmail.com. And that's all she wrote.
Wow. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.